Hola, everybody. Welcome back to The Hop. Gabe and Steven are here for round 19, and it's a fiesta. We are celebrating Cinco de Mayo. How we feeling, everybody?
I don't know if you're specifically talking to me, but I'm going to answer that question for everyone. I am feeling great. Yes, we are here for round 19, very special episode. Cinco de Mayo was 2 days ago, but we don't care. We're going to keep drinking. We're going to keep partying on. Hey, Steven.
Hey, Gabe.
Let's grab a drink.
Okay. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Hop. We are celebrating the holiday that happened 2 days ago, and we're drinking all things Mexicano today. As always, we want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. I want to encourage you to go out and follow the show on the Twitter, the Instagram, at the HO Podcast. Shoot us an email, hopod@gmail.com. We are looking for beer suggestions from you. Let us know what you want to hear featured on the show. And most importantly, please go out and rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. If you are a regular listener, that is super helpful and lets us know how we can make the show better for you. So if you have thoughts for us, please make them known. They're on Apple Podcasts. And if you don't have thoughts for us, just hit that 5-star button. It's my favorite button. It'll make you feel like you did something today.
So it's like we're helping you.
And it helps the show, and we appreciate it. That said, guys, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and Cinco de Mayo, I think a lot of people don't know what it is.
It's a day of celebration for the 5th of May, and I just always associate, like, tequila margaritas with it. I don't really know too much about the overall day and history and whatnot.
Neither do I. If you look up the real history of Cinco de Mayo, it involved the end of a battle, and the words French were and like war and like liberation were thrown around a lot.
Sounds like a history book.
Yeah, history was never my strong suit. I do know what it's not, which is not a Mexican Independence Day. That happens in September. So for people who think that Cinco de Mayo is the Mexican Independence Day, it's not. But Cinco de Mayo is really more of a Mexican-American holiday. It is not celebrated in Mexico.
Which
really,
is a shame.
It became popular here in the 80s when beer companies, we like beer companies,
we do,
basically promoted the shit out of it. And it is a huge day for beer sales, beer consumption. It is basically on par with the Super Bowl, according to Nielsen ratings and people that track this kind of stuff.
So
it's up there with the Super Bowl.
If it's on par with the Super Bowl for beer, what is the beer Super Bowl halftime show? Who's performing?
A mariachi band.
A mariachi band. Well, we have plenty of them in the New York City subways, so I'll go out and get one.
That'd be a dope halftime show. First, up top, since it is a fiesta. I don't know if you're ready for this, Gabe, but we're gonna do it.
I haven't done this in a very long time.
Yeah, we just felt it appropriate that we take a shot of tequila. So that's what's going to happen right now. He's nervous about it. I'm nervous about it, but
I can smell it from here. Oh God! All right. It's been a while. It's been a minute or two, but
Gabe,
you know what?
Before we do this, can I just ask what kind of tequila you're taking a shot of?
Yes, I am drinking the Espolon Tequila Reposado. We basically went with the tequila we have in our homes, and Scott and I got this a little while ago. We were making margaritas, and this was one of the perfect drinks for it. My normal tequila go-to is 1800 silver, but I do like this kind. But Espolon Tequila Reposado. Steven, you have?
I have also a Reposado. It's a fairly basic bitch Hornitos, but it is 100% agave, which is really the key when you're
mine
taking
is too.
shots. All right, Gabe.
All right.
Here we go.
This isn't the... I got something. Okay, this isn't the normal toast we do, but we haven't done this yet. I would like to raise a glass to all the workers and people on the front lines of this giant global screw up that is COVID-19. We thank you guys for keeping us safe and working hard, and for, like I said, being on the front lines each and every single day. So this shot of tequila is for you.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
Woo!
Okay.
And we're off.
Oh, that's delicious, straight up. I was so nervous. Look at me go.
Take your top off.
Take your top off, yeah!
That was good, actually.
I'm already wasted, okay.
Can I just tell you something? The toast was lovely and nice, but I do think hearing you give that speech with that music underscoring it might be one of the weirdest things that's happened on the podcast to date. That was just so tonally really confusing, but it was
that's
kind of
true. Yeah.
It was kind of hilarious.
We were raising a glass, and I was like, "Oh, we haven't done this yet.
You know
Let's
what?
thank all the frontline." And meanwhile, there's like, "Oh,
it's what they would want." Shot of tequila down the hatch. Just real quick, I wanted to just review different types of tequila. We did mention we were both drinking Reposado, and we did just now. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Feeling a little warm inside the belly.
Alrighty. There are 5 recognized types of tequila. There's your silver, which is basically clear, the purest sort of form, the closest to agave. It's either unaged or it's aged, just left in the tank, so stainless steel, but there's nothing added to it. So it's the purest form of tequila. There's Reposado, which we just drank, that is aged in oak barrels. That's where the color comes from, and that's aged anywhere from 2 months to a year. There's Añejo, which is aged for more than a year in the same barrels. Extra Añejo, which is aged for like a really long time. And then there's gold. Just don't drink gold tequila. It's got food coloring in it or caramel coloring. The gold color comes from somewhere. It's basically silver tequila that has stuff in it to make it look gold. Yeah, it's not a real thing. That's why Jose Cuervo Gold is like the shittiest tequila you can have.
Interesting. I didn't know that. One of the best tequilas I've ever had, and some of my friends back in good old CT will love this, the Don Julio. That is a man's drink.
Yeah, that's it. See, but that's what I mean. There's no Don Julio Gold. You know what I mean? There's no
right, yeah, you make a good point.
There's no Patron Gold. Like, it's not a real type of tequila. But
I like the color gold, so I was like, yeah.
But when it comes to choosing a tequila, you just want to choose the tequila that you need for what you're doing. If you're making a margarita, which, by the way, I don't brag about much in this world, or I try not to.
I was going to bring it up.
But
not the fact that you bragging. I was going to bring up the fact that Steven's got a killer margarita recipe that I don't think you should share to anyone. I don't even really know it.
I will not share it. I will tell you, though, that the key to a good margarita is corn. When I'm a bit of a... Did you say corn?
Is that not what you put in margaritas?
I'm a bit of a margarita... I've become a bit of a margarita snob, and I don't want to be. But the thing is that when you get a margarita out in restaurants, they put tequila in it, they put triple sec in it, but then they put sour mix in it, which is basically a combination of citrus juice, usually lime juice, but then it's got a simple syrup in it, and that's sugar and water. I don't like adding sugar to my margaritas, so I prefer to mix lime juice with fresh squeezed citrus juice, whether it's oranges, grapefruits, mangoes, pomegranate juice, pineapple juice. I mean, you could the possibilities are limitless, and then add a little agave to it to sweeten it with the natural sweetener that's already in the tequila. That is a more natural, more organic way to make a margarita. And then there's some other shit in there that I'm not going to tell you about.
We were in LA, I believe, and we went to the restaurant, we got these really dope margaritas. What did he add? I think he add Grand Marnier to it.
Well, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I love that place. That's my favorite margarita in LA. I couldn't tell you the name of it if I tried, but it's a great margarita.
We literally we were looking up, okay, best margarita in LA. We looked it up. Steven looked it up on his phone, And he goes, okay, this is the place. We literally raised our heads and we were in front of it. And we were like, okay, this is a sign from God. Let's
when
go.
you find a place that makes a good margarita, like, you got to stick to it. Because, like, most places that you go to will give you a margarita with sour mix. It's hard to find a good margarita out in the world. Like, I love going out for drinks. I love going out for beers. I would rather make my own margaritas 9 times out of 10, unless I can find a really good place. But, okay, that's my margarita rant. What I was saying about tequila is just, like, choose the tequila that's right for what you're doing. If you're taking a shot, you know, I mean, if you're sipping on it, then sure, Reposado, Añejo.
I was going to say, if you're taking a shot, apparently Reposado is the way to go.
But Añejo is just a waste of Añejo to, like, put it in a margarita. You could just put silver tequila in there. It's cheaper and it's purer, and there's no reason to go get some kind of expensive, like, extra Añejo tequila and then go put it in a mixed drink, you know?
Right, yeah. That would be a sipping tequila.
Can we move on to beer now?
Let's shift gears here. We are going to dive into only a few things for the news and notes because we want to get this episode started. So here we go. We have a friendly face coming back, Steven.
We do. Molson Coors has launched a new Coors Light ad campaign. The only reason this caught our eye is because of the people that are involved in it. Paul Giamatti is the voice of the ad, and they have a 15-second and a 45-second spot. And I watched the spot, and I just want to say, I love Paul Giamatti. You know that. I've seen Paul Giamatti. I'm obsessed with Billions. I saw him in Hamlet. Like, I love his work. But when I watched this ad, first thing that I saw in my head was Marty Wolf from Big Fat Liar.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why.
Blue paint.
There's something about the voiceover he was doing just sounded like that movie to me. It's an opportunity to hear Paul Giamatti say the words "sucky, suck, suckiness," which is entertaining. But
the best line of all time.
But it's part of this. Molson Coors is doing this America hashtag could use a beer campaign. They're encouraging people to tag at Coors Light on Twitter and use that hashtag could use a beer, to nominate someone for a 6-pack, and the company will give away 500,000 beers. So about 83,000 6-packs, a little bit more than that, to just give back. Which brings us to our other friendly face, old Olive. Our girl Olive. You may remember her from a few episodes back, the 93-year-old woman who got her free 150 beers because she held up her sign. Well, she's featured in the ad as well. So,
goes to show you, if you make it on the internet, you will make it on TV easily.
That's what it is. Yeah, you know, not huge news, but the ad is kind of hilarious though, because it's like throughout all of history, beer was. I mean, it's got images of the Great Depression, and they're like, they were hard times, but you know what they did? They ended prohibition, and you're like, I'm not sure that one really had to do with the other.
Easy there, Paul.
Sure. Okay.
Listen, man, we get it. You want us to buy some beer, but holy hell. In other fun craft beer news, the state of New Hampshire is getting a new beer. The New Hampshire breweries Great North Ale Works, Woodstock Inn Brewery, Moat Mountain Brewing Company, Smutty Nose Brewing Company, and Great Rhythm Brewing Company are collaborating on a new beer to support the New Hampshire Hospitality Employee Relief Fund. First of all, the name is called Nerf, and I think it's just hilarious. It's the best name ever. NHHERF. Nerf.
That is hilarious because it looks like the Nerf, like that we, like, you know, Nerf guns, but it's got Nerf those H's in there, so it's like Nerf.
Nerf. They are collaborating and making a new pale ale that is called Gratuity. It is featuring Galaxy, Amarillo, and Lemon Drop hops, which is new to me. I've never heard of Lemon Drop hops, which is really cool. All of the proceeds from the beer are being donated to Nerf, so they can continue supporting employees of the hospitality industry, everyone who's been affected by COVID-19. Basically, Great North brewed the beer, and then the rest of the breweries supplied the ingredients and other supplies, which is really cool. Apparently, it will be available the first week of May, so now, maybe. And it will be available statewide in New Hampshire. It is called Gratuity Pale Ale, and the artwork on it shows workers like in restaurants, other people kind of on the front lines still working hard to provide us with food and whatnot. So New Hampshire folk, get on it. Gratuity Pale Ale.
That's cool. So it's like their version of the Altogether or the one out in Colorado that we were talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so that is all for the funnel news and notes. I say we start drinking, and I have a fun little toast today. I love it. It's great. Here's to you, and here's to me. The best of friends we'll ever be. And if we ever disagree, well, screw you, and here's to me. Salud.
It feels less sophisticated than the music that's playing underneath it, but I like it.
Well, I wasn't prepared for the music. I
surprised you.
Here we are.
I surprised you with a little Antonio Banderas.
I feel like Zorro right now. I feel like Zorro's about to come into my room and be like, "Hello, I am here." Alrighty. So, as we mentioned earlier, Steven and I are both drinking different beers from different companies. We wanted to, again, highlight Mexican beers, and I am going to kick things off, if that's all right with you, good sir.
Fine.
Just let me go. God. I am drinking a beer. The company is called Bru. They are right out of Mexico. This is the Maiz Azul. It is a cream ale made with blue corn. Now, holy hell, I love the color blue. So I saw the label and I was like, oh, cool. Like, this is cool. What's this? And then it said ale brewed with Mexican blue corn. And I said, yeah, I think so. I think we're going to try it. Yes, this is a cream ale, coming in at 4.5% ABV, IBUs of 18. On the SRM chart, I got this information off of the site, 3.5. I've never seen an SRM with a 0.5 in it, but that is
it looks darker than that to me, but
well, yeah, it's fairly light on my end, but maybe
it could just be the phone.
I don't know. Beer Advocate gave it a 107.
That you're lying. What? Really?
I am lying. No. They didn't have a review for it. So that is another. I keep picking all these beers with no reviews from Beer
That was
Advocate.
Good, Gabe. You got me.
I can't. How? Anyway.
Like, what?
Untapped gave it a 3.15. Small, very tiny head, a little bit of lacing on the sides of the glass. Bubbles galore. The tasting notes, it's been known to taste like, well, corn. And on the nose, let's see. Interesting. I'm getting caramel off the nose. It is a cream ale, so maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah. But I am getting like a richness, I guess you can call it a creamy sort of vibe to it. But yeah, I'm getting like caramel and toffee right away. Yes, so this beer is made with the unique flavors of the native blue corn. The history of this beer basically begins with the milpas of the generational Michoacan producers of organic native blue corn in Mexico. This beer is featured for Bru's as one of their slow beers. I'll get into what the slow beer project is. But basically, every beer sold, they donate a percentage of each purchase for that project, the Slow Food Mexico project. Blue corn is an original Mexican plant, and Michoacan, which is I know I'm saying that wrong.
You are. It's Michoacan. I had.
Oh boy, I am so
Michoacan.
sorry. I am not. I am Italian and
It's like,
white.
oh, I
So,
hope my Mexican classmates don't listen to this. They won't.
what does it say it again?
It's Michoacan.
Michoacan.
And I'm probably still
Uh,
saying that wrong, but it's closer than
it's closer. Yeah, it's closer than what I was doing.
Michigan.
They have
Michigan. It's in Michigan.
Well, that's what I didn't want it because when I first tried it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds like Michigan. I'm going to sound so white." But they have the largest area of organic blue corn in the world, so shout out to them. And with that, okay, yeah, very chill. That's the first word that comes to my mind. It's very light. The aftertaste. The aftertaste. Yeah, I am getting sort of like a rustic, like a hay flavor ish, like that kind of vibe to it.
Grassiness.
Yeah. I'm not getting cream ale. Interesting enough. I am definitely getting. It's got a bold mouthfeel to it. It's got a full mouthfeel to it. It's slightly carbonated once you're drinking it. But yeah, it's very interesting. I think when I read cream ale, I was expecting like a little heavier. This is very like light and crisp.
I mean, cream ales don't have. They're closer to they're an ale style of beer. They're top fermented, but they are closer to a pale lager. They are generally.
You can taste it in this.
They're light. They're refreshing. They are subdued in flavor typically, and they definitely don't contain any like dairy or anything like that. So it's kind of a misleading name style because a cream ale is like when you hear cream ale, you're like, oh, I'm gonna drink like. I think of butterbeer from Harry Potter. I don't know what that tastes like.
No, for real though, that's exactly like. Yeah. You know, it's one of them. It's like the first thing I think of. You know what I mean? Like.
But in actuality, it's like a light, kind of almost lager-y style.
Yeah, but I mean, it is good. I don't know if it would be like crushable. It is only 4.5%. So I mean, if you had a 6-pack and nothing else to drink, I guess. But no, it's good. It's very crisp and light. This beer, I just want to mention it very quickly, has a little bit of history. So the Slow Food Project, it's a worldwide nonprofit member-supported eco-gastronomic organization, which is basically dedicated to the preservation of regional foods, culinary arts, and interest in the food we eat, where it comes from, and how our food choices affect the rest of the world, basically trying to save natural ingredients. This beer, along with another one of La Bru's beers, are part of their slow food project, so to speak. Like I said, proceeds from buying the beer go toward it. So the brewmasters at La Bru began discussing how craft beer could be a way to raise awareness about slow food project. Basically using Mexican art of taste ingredients in their beers. In 2016, the first slow beer competition was held, and La Bru was awarded first place. It's got a rich history to it. It's definitely a fan favorite of the people who know the company and people in Mexico itself, in the great city of
Michoacan.
There we are. Yeah, you're gonna say that from now on.
Yay!
The aftertaste is definitely more earthy and grassy-ish than I thought it would be. It's not bad, but I just wasn't expecting it. Yeah, maybe this is a good like lesson in cream ales, but this is not what I expected at all. When I first picked up the bottle, I was like, oh, cool, the beer's going to be blue. But of course it's not, because my imagination is just wild.
Because of the blue corn.
Because of the blue corn. Well, it's like blue corn chips. Like, those are so good.
Well, let me talk about what I've got over here. All right, is that cool with you?
It's not, but you're going to do it anyway.
I am looking at a Cerveza Loba Blanca wheat beer. This beer is, so the brewery is called Cerveza Loba. They're a small Mexican craft brewery that is located in the heart of Guadalajara. And they were founded in 2011, and they kind of have been getting bigger ever since. They're doing quite well now, but they do have this mission to kind of expand the Mexican craft beer palette, which I think is pretty cool because you don't see wheat beers coming out of Mexico very often. So that's cool.
That's interesting.
It's got an ABV of 4.8%, IBUs about 25. On the SRM chart, we are looking at what I would call like a 5. It's like a nice yellow, golden straw color, hazy, appropriately for the style. The head was about a good bit, maybe an inch or a little more of white foam, which has dissipated, but it left a good amount in a ring along the glass.
Dope glass, by the way.
Thank you. Drinking out of just a typical pint glass.
No, it's not a typical pint glass. It's a Game of Thrones pint glass.
It's a Game of Thrones pint glass, which is appropriate because the company logo for this company is the wolf, and there's a wolf on the glass. How do you feel about that, Mike?
Bang!
Exclamation point!
Oh, symmetry. I love it so.
Love hearing from Mike. I wonder how he's doing.
Okay, on the nose, there's this really strong scent of coriander, spices. There is a sense of like lemon, banana, but nice. The spice, lime for sure. I mean, a wheat beer,
citrus, man.
Yeah, a wheat beer will typically have a nice acidity to it, but it's got spices in there. Like orange peel and coriander seeds. So when you smell it, it's almost like I associate it with like Shock Top, but good beer. Okay. But like it's that kind of thing. It's that like very weedy, very soft spiciness.
Down the hatch.
That first sip, I just like appreciated this style in a way that I never really have before, because it's just like it hits you when you first take a sip. The first thing that hits you in the mouth is the wheat, the malt cereal grain, like that mix that's in there, as well as like the coriander. But as it goes down your mouth and hits the back and kind of coats the back of your mouth, there's a really nice citrus thing that happens, and it's this like vibrant acidity with like orange and lime, and it kind of just opens up into this like balanced thing that I wasn't really expecting. And then the finish is dry. It kind of leaves you, it's refreshing, it's crisp, and it does leave you wanting more. It's medium bodied. It's got I would say a medium carbonation. It's not appreciably high, but it's definitely there. What I just love about it, between what you're drinking and what I'm drinking, I mean, the craft beer scene in Mexico, if you look up, 10 years ago, like there really wasn't one. I mean, and I've asked my friends from Mexico, like, hey, what beers are down there? Granted, they're not huge beer people, but I mean, they were like, I don't know, Sol, maybe Indio, which are all like ABI type situations, but like the beer industry in Mexico, the craft beer industry in Mexico, has been blossoming in a way, and it's been growing steadily. I would say that they are where America was maybe 10, 15 years ago. They're in the middle of a craft beer boom there. They've been seeing increases in the craft beer sales in the country of 50% steadily year after year for a couple of years. And like, I know the brewery that I'm drinking from, Cerveza Loba, like it's part of their mission statement, from what I could read in Spanish, that they are trying to expand Mexico's craft beer palette. They brew 7 different styles of beers, including Gozas and IPLs, India Pale Lagers, which are styles that just didn't exist in Mexico before.
Right.
So
it's interesting to see how they're not just keeping up with others, they're kind of putting their spin on it, more or less. And that's always really refreshing to see, because it's, the overall awesome thing of the beer, but you want to give your like spin on it so you can kind of make it yours and make it creative. And so it's really cool to see. It was like when we were talking about Puerto Rico not too long ago when their craft beer scene starting to rise. It's interesting to see like there are other places to get craft beer. It's not just the United States. I mean,
100%. But I feel like Mexico has a reputation of Corona and Modelo and Tecate, and there are people there who are
Tecate.
Is it Tecate? I always call it Tecate.
So. I used to call it Tecate, and then someone was like, "Oh, Gabe, no, yeah." Someone corrected me hard. I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Oh my god!
Ew.
I know. I tried, but now I know. Jeez, back up.
It's but there are people there who brew craft beer and are trying to kind of, I don't know about change the image, but offer something new. It's just, in America, we're so used to this because we have so much craft beer and so many different styles, and it's all over the place now because of the craft beer boom that happened, in the 90s and the early 2000s. But yeah, just other places in the world are on the beginning of that curve, to use COVID terminology. And I think that's really cool to see.
And it's really, it's cool that we can kind of educate people on it. I mean, I'm learning new things every day about this stuff. And, if you go up to someone, you say, all right, Mexican beer, go. I mean, I feel like their first thing is going to be Corona, Sol.
Which we did. Don't think we knew what we were getting into here.
We had to do some research. We had to go hunting. Shout out to City Swiggers for holding down the beer fort. I was able to find my beer there. Were you able to get yours at Good Old Sunset or no?
Good Old Sunset. But, it's just good to know, and I think it's good to know for everyone out there, like if you want to expand your beer palette to the imported section. I mean, look, I'm a big beer guy, obviously. I'm part of a craft beer podcast. But when I walk into a beer store, most of the time I walk for the domestics. I mean, that's the biggest section. But if you go over to that imported section, there are some people importing some great craft beer from not only Mexico. You can find stuff from all over the world, and we plan to feature stuff from other places.
It is everywhere. I was looking at the imported section. I saw good-looking beers. Like, I read the description and the ABV and all that. Good-looking beers, Thailand, China. One of them was Jordan. One of them was Kenya. One of them was Jamaica, and they don't just have Red Stripe. They have other stuff. Like, I was like, wow, this is okay.
The options are there.
So, La Bru, the brewery itself, a staple of Mexican beer, as we mentioned earlier. They are really churning things out. They are really great. They have been noted as...
Hold on. It's just such a good moment to kill this fly. Hold on.
Do it. Kill the fly.
It got away from me. Fuck it. All right, keep going.
Damn it, Steven. Started by three good friends in... Say it again for me.
Michoacan.
In 2006, Jeffrey Schultz, Matthew Hickory, along with a third undisclosed partner whose name I could not find. But what was really cool was...
Ooh, that's intriguing.
I know.
See, because I'm obsessed with like El Chapo, so I'm like, who was it? Like the drug cartel?
I don't believe this company was involved with the drug cartel, but there was smuggling involved, believe it or not.
Fun.
Matthew Hickory, the owner, was smuggling ingredients from the United States to Mexico in a van so they could keep making beer. Now, this is what's really impressive to me. Now, this is the bread and butter of just like working your ass off. They made all their labels by hand. They cut all the boxes with an X-Acto knife. They started showcasing all of their beers at parties and weddings and bars just to like spread the word and get people to buy it because they couldn't mass produce yet and they weren't in stores everywhere. And then the fire kind of caught, and here we are now. They're, up and booming.
Bullshit. That third partner was El Chapo or Pablo Escobar. I'm sorry. They smuggled their ingredients in a van, and they were making labels with X-Acto knives. That's some cartel
making labels
shit.
by hand, cutting boxes with X-Acto knives. Listen, I'm just the messenger.
Call me crazy.
I'm just the messenger for this kick-ass brewery. So shout out to the guys who are out there getting all the ingredients, rolling their sleeves up, and working extra hard.
Even for the drug cartels. Amen.
Even for the drug cartels. The La Bru brewers wanted to bring the great traditional styles of Europe to the Mexican palate, basically preserving old methods of brewing beer, using without chemicals or preservatives, unfiltered and unpasteurized. Today, they are still making those styles. They've added beers with local ingredients of great Mexican tradition, such as the blue corn that I am drinking or wild vanilla. And a great quote by Rob Bertram, their commercial director, says, "We do not consider it a job. It is personal. It is putting everything we have in order to make the best beer possible. We believe that love of beer is present when you open a bottle of La Bru." I feel the love tonight, Lord.
Can you feel the love tonight?
We're Simba when we need him, am I right?
My brewery, the one that I own in Mexico, Cerveza Loba. I mentioned they're in Guadalajara. They're located near the Sanitary Market. They were founded in 2011. They moved to their current location in 2015. I spoke a little bit about their beer philosophy, that they are trying to expand Mexico's craft beer palette, and they're doing pretty well. The International Beer Challenge named them one of the best North American breweries in 2019, which is really cool. So they're doing well. They are currently available throughout Mexico as well as in California and the UK. So, Gabe, you can't get them, but all our California listeners, shout out all you Cali people out here with me having fun in the sun. We could drink some Cerveza Loba, and they have a bunch of different beers to choose from, not just the one that I'm drinking, but according to their Spanish website that I'm reading in Spanish, they also have they have a black beer, which they have a porter, they have a clandestine, they have Altinia, Paradise. If you take yourself to Google Translate, you can read all about these beers in jilted English. You know what I want to say about this this brewery is shout out to their Instagram, at Cerveza Loba on Instagram. They have I mentioned their mascot for the company is a wolf, and their current Instagram profile picture is a wolf in a mask, like a COVID mask, which I think was very timely. They're also doing this this promotion, which was like hard to get any information on. It might mean nothing to no one, but like right now, if you buy a case of Cerveza Loba beer, they're giving you tennis shoes, and they're all like colored with the beer, which is really cool. So if you look at their Instagram, you can see like a picture of the beer with like a matching colored tennis shoe, which is wild. But I don't know where they're.
I could always use some tennis shoes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know where that shipping is happening. It might just be in Mexico, so I didn't really want to go into it too much, but it's there for you.
It's there for you. Good for you. Good for us.
It's just a great. I love reading about this company because I just love reading about small independent breweries making their way in the Mexican craft beer scene. It's exciting to see what we love in America happening on the international scale.
Shout out to our friends, our neighbors to the south.
We have one more beer to crack open. I mean, I guess if there's time, if we should, we might as well. Okay, we've arrived. We're doing it.
Moving on.
In honor of our friends to the south, we're gonna drink some Dos Equis.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We are thirsty,
so here we go.
I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible about this, but I'm drinking out of a tall boy, so I don't know how.
Which is hilarious to me. You couldn't find just like a normal thing.
Well, no, I couldn't. I could, but I was like, quite honestly, I did find it, and I was like, I really don't want 6 of these.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I bought.
We are drinking different Dos Equis. I have the Dos Equis Amber. What do you have again?
I have just the regular Dos Equis lager. I mean, it's in like a special can that says Summer of Dos, which I think means Summer of Two. So
well, I would assume Dos sounds like two in Spanish.
Summer of Two? Sure. But it's apparently a limited edition can. But it's a 24-ounce can.
Save it.
And I thought about pouring it into a glass, and I just thought, I mean, Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. We know. We get it.
No, but the real reason we're doing it is we wanted to we want, we have.
We wanted to play that drop of "Stay Thirsty, My Friends." That's the real.
That's
reason.
why. No, we gave a little bit of love to the craft beer industry there, but I felt like in honor of Cinco de Mayo, which is a holiday that was largely popularized by the beer industry, like we said,
Right.
we should pay tribute to one of the classic, widely distributed commercial beers out of Mexico. We could have gone with Modelo. We could have gone with Tecate.
Oh God,
We could have gone.
We'll work on that later. We could have done Corona, but
Corona,
let's be real,
Indio.
That's too real right now.
They're all part of the same situation.
Umbrella.
Honestly, I think they're distributed by all the same company, but so they're all the same thing. But we went with Dos Equis because we wanted
We're
to play
good
the drop.
people. Did you get the fly?
No,
There's a fly in Steven's house, and he's trying to drink some beer.
it's just
I say
really
we
bothering
cross-
me. It keeps flying in front of my eye.
Watching you try to swat a fly is one of the funniest things.
Cheers! I'm diving into my tall boy.
Here we go. Cheers. Yeah, it tastes like a regular Dos Equis.
Okay, so ABV for me of 4.7%, IBU of 10, which means not very bitter. Beer Advocate gave it a 64, which I think is the lowest rating I've seen on Beer Advocate, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, on the smell, it smells like a Pilsner. It's got, it's malt forward for sure. There's not a lot of complexity of there's not a lot of hops. There's not a lot of bitterness. There's not a lot of much going on. I'm smelling the can.
Yeah, I feel like
bother.
I feel like Dos Equis is one of those just it tastes like beer and not much else. So if you're just looking for something to sip on, and you're just I don't care.
I'm trying.
I need a beer to I need a beer to watch during the game. I don't know.
I'm trying to give it an unbiased rating. I mean, I guess there are notes of the maltiness. There's maybe you could pick out a little bit of lemon if you're looking, although that might be the lingering wheat beer left behind.
I'm on my end for the amber. I've never had the amber version. I'm getting the caramel toffee flavor on the back end. I'm not getting really much when it goes down, when I first drink it, but on the back end, I'm getting that little sense of caramel toffee flavor, and it's positive, right? Get the fly.
It does. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it other than that it does taste like you're at the ball game. I mean, if you need a beer to wash down popcorn or something at the ball game, this is fine. Look, this beer has a place in the world. I'm not saying it doesn't. We are not trying to shit on this beer as much as I know we are shitting on this beer. There's
I haven't said a damn word.
It's just that what you get is a lot of It's watery. It's grainy. It's got notes of it's kind of overly sweet sometimes. It's syrupy. It's got corn in it. I don't
like the fact that there's just not a lot of flavor profile to it. You can tell it's been just
it's
you
watered
can tell
down.
It's very corporate. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what it is. It's watered down. Now, all right, here's where now I am going to shit on them for a hot sec.
This isn't.
If you'll just indulge me, their website lists the ingredients that are in the beer as well as all the nutritional facts. And Gabe, can I just ask you, if you had to pick the 4 ingredients of beer, what are they?
They are water, malt, hops, and yeast.
That is correct. This has water, malted barley, hops, absorbic acid, and cornstarch or corn syrup.
God dang it. Really?
So if everyone will just back up for a second.
30-second rant.
We're going to start the timer. I just have something to say about that.
Cool. Uh-oh. Here we go.
I don't know why anyone would put cornstarch in your beer. All it accomplishes is watering down the beer. There's no reason to ever do that. I looked this up for like 3 seconds, and I found a website of some home brewer asking if he should put cornstarch in his beer to mimic the flavor of Dos Equis. And everyone that answered the guy was like, why would you do that? This is for people who didn't know that they put cornstarch in their beer, but why the fuck would you put cornstarch in your beer? What are you aiming to accomplish other than just watering it down? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and
All right, well, if you're getting a 30-second rant, I'm getting a 30-second rant.
Do you have something to get off your chest?
I do. Mine's going to be in a different direction, but it's about Dos Equis, so
okay.
I'm in. Here we go.
You can do it. All right, here we go.
I'm ready. So you make this beer and you've got this cornstarch, like Steven said, you've the corn syrup, whatever, but yet you have this awesome badass man staple as the logo and as the face of the company. Stay thirsty, my friends. He should be for a craft beer company. He shouldn't be for this kind of beer. You can't have that such badass of a man, just an awesome dude with a great voice, like stay thirsty, my friends. And then you're drinking this. Like, they just don't go together, and it's stupid, and the marketing team needs to be fired.
You know, I was thinking that earlier today. I was like, this guy doesn't drink Dos Equis. I'm sorry.
No,
but this man
absolutely not.
This man smokes a cigar while he sips on heavy tequila or scotch.
Or like wine.
Yeah, I'm a mission of the show is to be inclusive. And I'm fully aware that we have brought Dos Equis into this, and then we just proceeded to shit on them for a few minutes. But the cornstarch thing, we weren't trying to. We bought the beers. We were like, all right, well, we'll drink Dos Equis. It's a nice... The cornstarch thing just really lit a fuse for me.
I didn't know that ahead of time, and then you brought it up to me before, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of a deal breaker.
That was just... all right. Well,
so this beer's going to make you fat? I mean, all beer isn't...
I've got a 24-ounce...
Drinking beer isn't going to give you a six-pack, but let's be real, like...
I've got a 24-ounce can to drink right now.
I want you to drink if you don't drink the rest of that...
Oh, I'm going to. I'm going to because I'm a man of principle, and as much as I don't like crap beer, I have a bigger problem with dumping beer down the drain, personally.
Thank you. That brings me to one quick point. It won't be a 30-second rant, but for all the people who go into bars or go into restaurants, anywhere you can buy and drink beer, that leave beer on the table. Don't leave beer on the table. Finish your damn drink.
Finish
like
your beer.
Normal person and move on with your life. And obviously, if you're, getting to that point and you're like, I'm going to need a ride home. There's Uber, there's cabs for a reason. Finish your damn beer.
Wow, this episode is turning into therapy, but I could not agree more.
We're getting into it now. Where's Dr. Phil?
My dad always makes fun of me because as we're leaving, he'll leave half a beer and he's like, "Is it disrespectful to the beer?" And I'm like,
"Yes,
yeah, it is. Why would you?
Especially if it's a good craft beer.
Don't order it if you can't finish it, and if you order it, just sit there and finish it. Like, just hang out at the table. Where are you going?
I can't tell you how many times I've been at a bar with like friends, and it's been like we gotta go. Like the ride is here, and it's like, oh crap. You have a 7.9% beer. Chug it.
Finish your beer.
You can do it.
And
if you tell yourself you can't do it, you're thinking negatively, and we don't like that on the show. Just saying.
There's also a mindset amongst real craft beer snobs that is, if you open a beer and it's not good. Now, I'm not saying if it's skunked or bad. If it's bad, don't drink it. But if you open a beer and you just don't like it, I feel like you got yourself into that. I mean, unless you literally can't choke it back. But I mean, like just dumping a beer that someone brewed down the drain. To me, I'm just not on board with that. I know some people are, but that's how I feel.
Now that we got all our feelings out, should we end the episode on a more lighter side of the fun topic as we like to do?
We should. I feel like I just want to hear him one more time. He's going to stick around. I mean, let's just be real.
Just listen to him.
He's not going anywhere.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
You can get used to him because he's right next to the Lucky Charms guy on the soundboard. He doesn't have Mike Breen status, but he's close.
Yeah, Mike Breen's first. Okay, fun topic. We didn't have much for this, but we're going back to football because that's kind of our basis.
I'm sorry,
Steven.
This podcast could be a craft beer and football podcast. Once the season hits, we're fucked.
Oh, it's over. If you're not into football, once the season hits, too bad. Like it's.
Yeah,
over.
I'm sorry. We might have to do half and half. Like if you're not into football, just tune out now. We got 30 minutes to just vent some shit. I'm still not over the draft, but whatever. Yeah.
The Fire Crotch has a new team.
If you don't know who we're talking about, you don't pay attention to football. I don't even think we. Okay, I was gonna say we shouldn't even say his name. We should just call him Fire Crotch. And if you can't catch up, Google it. Football Fire Crotch. Figure it out. Someone's probably posted that. Anyway, where is he going?
If his face doesn't pop up, that's a problem.
And I don't know where he's going. I've literally intentionally not looked at the news so that I hear this for the first time on the show.
All right.
Where is he going?
I'll give you hints. I want you to guess.
Okay.
He's going to a team where he will not be the starter.
Okay.
Their coach, their coach very well.
Dallas
Cowboys. 1 year, $7 million, $3 million guaranteed. Homeboy's backing up Prescott. Tell me how you feel about that because I've got some thoughts.
Quite honestly, if I had to put a word to it, I would say I feel almost nothing. Look, Matt Schaub has a job. Okay. So I knew Andy Dalton was going to have a job. Nathan Peterman has a job.
Oh my God, Nathan!
I love Nathan
Peterman because the one game he played was against the Chargers and he threw 5. I'm going to say that again. He threw 5 interceptions.
The fact that these two guys have jobs and Cam Newton doesn't have a job yet. But Andy Dalton has been with the Bengals for 9 years. He's a veteran quarterback, so I'm not surprised he has a job. And I don't even know who Dak's backup was because I don't think Dak's backup.
Yeah. Well, because Dak just kept playing. I think Dalton's going to be. My first thought was like, why? And then my second thought was like, well, hey, homeboy needs a job. But I think it's going to be kind of like a Josh McCown Eagles situation. Like he knows he's not going to play. He knows, like he's going to be the veteran teacher to Dak. Like he's going to help Dak. And so part of me is just kind of like, hey, you know what? I don't know. You're getting paid $7 million. That's more than I can say. But yeah, I think he's going to be a good teacher. I think, he already has a home in Dallas or in Texas. So he doesn't even have to like move personally. He just has to move business wise. But he played college at TCU in Texas. So he's used to it. Listen, you grabbing that fly is everything right now. I'm not gonna let it go. We're gonna talk about it, and I want all the viewers to know that you are currently trying to kill a fly in your apartment by grabbing at it.
It's very elusive when you can't leave the chair. I'm stuck in front of the mic. Andy Dalton,
this damn fly, Eddie.
I knew he would end up somewhere.
I did too.
This is like fine. I mean, I can't say Andy Dalton's not good. I don't like Andy Dalton. I don't really care about Andy Dalton at all. But for me to say that like the Bengals, that he was the reason the Bengals were bad is just wrong.
No.
They have anything. They had AJ Green and nothing else. Maybe Joe Mixon if you're into that. But
AJ Green this past year played all of 4 or 5 games.
Their offensive line was crap.
They had a bad year, but
they had a bad decade. But
they now have Joe Burrow, and obviously, he's the number 1 pick. Everyone's going to be looking at him, blah blah blah. Joe Burrow is one of those guys that I think is like, I don't think they're going to go to the playoffs right away. I think with him, give him 3-4 years. They'll start to people will start to go, all right, the Bengals.
Well, we'll see.
Because Joe Burrow already has the name. It's the team that I'm talking about.
We'll see. I mean, that's what people said about the Browns, and they still have things to figure out. They got the first round quarterback. They got Odell. They got Jarvis. They got a great running back, and they still have work to do because you can't just have the offensive pieces and not have a line to support them and all the other stuff. And so
Odell might be shopped. There's rumors. I don't think he's going to go anywhere, but there's a lot of rumors of like him being not traded, but like being in talks. Like, hey, we're looking for deals for Odell. I don't think he's going to end up going anywhere though.
What I love is that the talk now is that the Patriots, because they're in rebuild mode, might be tanking for the quarterback next draft. Can you imagine a season where the Patriots just lose every game? Like
don't make the playoffs.
Dynasty just like collapses.
I would love that. Are you kidding me?
It could happen. I mean, right now we're looking at a season with Stidham and Hoyer backing him up.
Oh, Hoyer's. Oh, they're going with the rookie.
They're going with Stidham, yeah.
Oh my. Well,
unless they sign Cam or someone else, you know.
Yeah, well, Cam.
But the last rumor for Cam that I heard was that the Redskins were happy with their quarterback situation.
Yeah. They got Dwayne Haskins last year.
Yeah, but they have Ron Rivera. So if they brought Cam in as his backup, Cam could win that job.
No, Cam's not going to be the backup. If Cam goes to the Redskins, Cam's going to start. They did just get the Redskins just got Thomas Davis, who was playing with Carolina. Okay, so all or nothing. This is how we know football through TV because we're actors. So all or nothing Carolina, Thomas Davis, their good defensive back, 58, number 58 captain, dope dude. He played with the Chargers for 1 year this past year. I was sad to see him go because I thought he was great and he was a good leader, but he's going to the Redskins to reunite with Ron Rivera. If Cam goes to the Redskins, Ron Rivera is going to be like, yeah, sit down second year. You're going to learn.
Well, but Dwayne Haskins has a job, and the thing is, like, if you were in a normal camp situation, Cam could easily prove to be the better quarterback, but we don't know if there's going to be camp. We don't know if there's going to be OTAs. There might not be time for that.
We don't know if there's going to be a season.
We don't. I'm still hoping that there will be one, even if it's like a month late with nobody in the stands. But like
yeah, I don't care.
But
that
so
in the NBA, it's like, dear God, give me something here.
Yeah. We need to go, but I also heard. I mean, it's not a real rumor. It's just like random fantasy football talk, but like discussions that Aaron Rodgers could go finish his season with the Patriots. Take him to the Super Bowl, and I haven't. And I haven't felt the. I mean, because all the stuff that's going on with the quarterback and stuff, I'm trying to just take it in stride, whatever it is, what it is. But that when I heard one analyst say that they could easily see him end up with the Patriots, that was the thing that just like sparked something in me of just like
that would kill me, and I'm not even a Packers fan.
That was
I keep hearing Bears, which I don't know why, but I keep hearing. Well, you know what I do keep hearing about Aaron Rodgers? I keep hearing he's not going to finish his career in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean that's what the chatter is, and that makes sense to me. I mean, but a lot of Phillip Rivers is not finishing his career in San Diego or LA. Tom Brady is not finishing his career in New England.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning did not finish his career.
I mean, Kurt Warner.
It happens. Brett Favre. It happens. But so I wouldn't be surprised by that. But if it's the Patriots.
Yeah, that would kill me.
If it's the Patriots or in division, I would just be livid. If it's the Patriots, the Bears, the Vikings, the Lions, those are the four teams. Go anywhere else. Go to Tampa Tom did.
Come to LA. Are you kidding me? We'll take him.
All right, let's ease up on that. All right, we gotta get out of here.
Chargers fan now.
We gotta go. I'm gonna go
get the hell out of here.
Pound 24 ounces of Dos Equis. Thank you guys for joining us for the Cinco de Mayo celebration.
This was round 19. We will be back next week for round 20. We will be back for our 20th episode.
Holy shit.
We thank you guys so much. We hope you had a good Cinco de Mayo, and if you are still celebrating, keep doing it. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Go Chargers!
Cheers!